Hi everyone, now welcome back for a new season, Season 3 to Gloucester Canary Australia. This is episode 1. Over here, we're at Max, the food scientist. We're over at his Birdroom. So another home visit. All right guys, let's get started. We've got Max. He's a food scientist and he's into his coloured canaries. Max, thanks for having me, mate.
No, thank you for coming, Nelson. Pleasure, mate.
No worries.
Yeah.
So what canaries do you have, mate?
Yeah, sure. So I'm into the mosaics, more specifically the red agate mosaics, Isabel red mosaics, and also the Setinette red mosaics. So at the moment, I was keeping other varieties, but due to time pressures and commitments, and also you can hear the bubbles from the background. I also keep a number of fish tanks. So I've reduced from 11 types of different colour canaries down to 3, which are 3 of my favourites.
Oh, that's awesome, mate. So how's your breeding season going at the moment?
Yeah, breeding season is pretty good. Basically, I started fairly late. It was in September when I started. I've got some young birds which are already on the perch and sort of already feeding on their own. And a lot of the nests are full of babies, as I showed you before. And basically, I do things a little bit different to many other people, due to being time poor and trying to provide the birds the full nutrition, and so they can be fit and healthy through 12 months of the year, and especially during the breeding season. So I can show you the unique ways I feed my canaries to keep them healthy.
Yep.
And yeah.
No, that'll be awesome, mate. Look, you can tell when the birds are healthy. You can hear the canary room. Like, it's birds are chirping, they're singing. They look like they're in great health. And you've got a lovely setup as well, mate. You've got some lovely birds.
Thank you.
Lovely birds. And also, you're with the Canary Club.
Yeah, that's right. We're due to the fact I keep colour canaries, I'm with the Colour Canary Breeders Association of Victoria. If you'd like to join, there's a website and also a Facebook page. Yeah, we're great to have other people who are into, especially like red factors or other types of mutations, colour canary mutations, to join.
Oh, that's great. All right, guys. Now, as I said, Max is a food scientist and he created his own sort of formula for his birds. So, all right, Max, take it away, mate.
Yeah, sure. So what I'm doing a little bit controversial and a bit different to what other people that keep canaries do. But again, to make it very simple for me, quick in the morning, minimal waste, and provide full spectrum nutrition for my birds. This is my policy only. Anyone else who's willing to take it upon, no problem. But I don't boil any eggs, I don't sprout any seed, and no greens from the garden. Boiling eggs, it's very time consuming, and I don't have time in the morning because I have to get to work. But second, a very important thing you need to understand that, especially during summer with boiled egg, if you keep it, if it doesn't get consumed right away and it stays in the cage, you start to increase your microbiological load on the food, which can cause issues to your birds, yes, to some degree. Same as spreaded seed. I'm sure many people over the years have tried spreading seed and it got to a stage it actually starts to become moldy. So that also can be very toxic to your birds.
That's right.
Another thing with greens is, again, this is all personal learnings and research and interacting only with my birds. But to minimize, again, what I mentioned before, even though you wash your vegetables, whatever you want to give to the birds, but there's always a chance there might be parasites, microorganisms, E. coli, salmonella on that fresh produce that I want to minimize. So what I'm doing is to minimize feeding it to my birds. So, and now you're going to ask me, so what do you feed your birds? So, again, being a science background and understanding of food, there's pretty much these food groups. There's macronutrients, which are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, fibers, and water. And then micronutrients, which is vitamin and minerals. So providing a balanced diet that captures all the food groups to replace your traditional way of feeding your canaries with a more custom approach.
Yep. No, it's very interesting, mate. Look, what I love doing these episodes, I love, meeting new people and sharing ideas and yeah, like I've said, I've got my way of doing things, and Max has his way of doing things, and I find it quite unique, but quite interesting as well. So just in a moment, we're gonna have a look at like some of Max's different types of powder and what he does, and I'll tell you what, I've been using Max's powder for the last couple of breeding seasons, and I'll tell you what, I highly recommend them. Fertility rate and the birds, they're a lot more healthier and stronger. At the moment, you get quite a few breeders this season that I hear aren't doing so well. And not to say anything, but I do believe that Max's his type of powder, it really works, and I'm very happy with my results so far at the breeding season at this point of time.
Yeah, so just to go a bit more specifically, what I actually feed my canaries. So this is my basic routine. So in the hoppers, I've got plain canary. Obviously, I'll give shell grit and cuttlefish. In the little round sort of containers, I feed him chia seed, because chia seed is extremely nutritious seed. It's full of fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. And for water, in the water, I normally add water, but I also add apple cider vinegar with oregano and apple cider vinegar with garlic. Yeah, so they have their own medicinal properties. Everyone knows how garlic can help, and also oregano can help the bird's health. So that's what goes into the water. Now, in the morning, I prepare a soft food, which is a combination of these ingredients covering the food groups that I mentioned. So in this food here, what I use is pea, corn, carrot, seeds, and a little bit of glucose. Now that covers the carbohydrates requirement, the sugar requirement, and the dietary fiber requirement. Yes, some of these ingredients have other macronutrients within them, but the focus to provide that is to cover off the carbohydrates. Then I move on to the proteins. So I use dry protein. I use an egg and biscuit from Basile, which is loaded with protein and also has an abundant amount of vitamins and minerals. Also, which I found just of recent, this other product from Basile is it's called an insectivore remix. The reason why I use, because again, it's a high amount of protein. It's got about 52% of protein. Then moving on to the fats. So I use canola oil, sunflower oil, and cod liver oil. The reason why I use sunflower and canola is because it contains an essential fat which is important to birds, which is called linoleic acid. And also the other very important thing with adding canola oil, it has its own omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9 properties. However, also has fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K. Then I also go ahead and add some vitamins and minerals, premix, but I normally add this product here, not for the vitamin content, but it's more for mineral content, because I believe in more providing your birds with natural vitamins that are found in seeds and like pea, corn, carrots, and also found in the oils. So that's pretty much it's a combination of the ingredients which I make this kind of taste textured product, and I can also demonstrate how I make it, which the birds consume it and are happy to feed their chicks. And it, again, focusing on a complete nutrition covering all the major food groups which I mentioned. Now, the other product that I do is this powdered form, which overseas they use plenty of different other products similar. But again, this is more of a product that you don't add any water and you put it in a container dry and for the bird to consume as needed. So it's not wasteful, and basically the idea is that when I go to work, I feed them this in the morning. When they consume this, they can move on to this and continue eating this until the very next day. So I've got food covered for morning and evening. In addition to the white powder, I do add probiotics and prebiotics, which is good for the bird's gut health, and also add to the powder a coenzyme Q10, which is a very powerful antioxidant for cell development in birds, and also for general health, and is very important. Like a little bit of literature review, it's very important for bird reproduction, fertility, and sperm quality. So that concludes pretty much what I provide the birds from a balanced diet, which covers your normal ways of feeding your birds with egg and greens and so on. So adapting to this has managed for myself to be successfully at breeding and keeping healthy birds. Yeah, just sharing the ingredients that go into making this particular product that I make, which also Elsha has mentioned that he uses for his birds and had some successful breeding this year. So within the ingredient listing basically includes cereals and seeds, animal-derived proteins, vegetable oils, glucose, cod liver oil, vitamins and minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, iodized salt, and coenzyme Q10. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate how I make this soft mix, which I normally prepare in the morning for the birds. So what I use is frozen pea, corn and carrots. I put it in a blender. Now, to this I add some glucose, so simple sugars for energy for the birds, especially during breeding season. Then I add the high protein powder, the one I mentioned before, the Basile insectivore, so a scoop of that. Basile egg and biscuit, a scoop of that. Then I add some of my white powder premix. So that covers off the carbohydrates and proteins. Then we move on to the oils and fats, sorry. So, teaspoon of canola. Teaspoon of sunflower. And a teaspoon of cod liver oil. So that covers off the fats and also the natural fat soluble vitamins that the birds is essential for birds for health. Now to that I'll also add some Pasquale vitamin and mineral. Again, predominantly I add this because of the mineral content. This is also calcium carbonate, which is the same material that the eggshell is made of. So this is in powdered form. Okay, then what I do is I change its consistency. So now it's sort of all loose and really broken up. What I want to do is to mix it in order that it can form into a paste. So then once it's into a paste, all these ingredients are uniform throughout that paste. So when the bird consumes a small amount of the product, it's taking the benefit of all the food all at once. So it's not like your typical soft food which is crumbly and loose, which the bird can pick. The bird is forced to take a morsel of this, but every time it takes a morsel of this, it takes a portion of all the ingredients that I've added. So that now it's in sort of like a paste consistency. To that, I'll finish it off due to the fact that I've got colour canaries, so I put some of the colour crystals in the food. That much. And then finish it off with some tonic seed. Tonic seed I just stir through. With time, the colour crystals dissolve, and from a green appearance, over time it turns into a red appearance. Now the amount I normally feed my birds is pretty much a heaped teaspoon. The amount I feed the birds is a heaped teaspoon per cage. So I'm just going to demonstrate how much I tend to feed the birds. I use these cups here. That's the amount I tend to fill the cup with of that soft food that I make. And I just, there. And healthy birds, they look great. And there's an agate chick and 2 setinet chicks in the nest. Now I'm going to just demonstrate how I provide colour to colour feed my birds. Typically, you're supposed to add the colour into water, but I find it quite messy and wasteful, because at the end of the week you have to chuck away your water, hence you're throwing a colour, and the colour is not that cheap. So I found an easier way to introduce it into my the white powder food that I make, and feed it to the birds dry, so it's not wasteful, and they consume it, and they're consuming the full strength of the colour. So now I'm just going to demonstrate how I mix it. So I've got 1 kilo of the white powder and about 12 grams of the colour. So that goes into the mix. I just stir it around. Yeah, so now it's well mixed. And that's pretty much it. Now I can just take a little bit of a scoop and feed it to the birds. Okay, so now, very simple. Just fill up the little container.
All right, Max. That was very interesting, mate. Look, thanks for having me.
No worries.
At your place.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep. Hope everyone found it beneficial what I showed and explained. Obviously, each one has their own ways of doing things. This is how I do it. If you found anything that you like and you want to take on within your own birdroom, go for it. If you've got any questions, just send information to Alfio, and you can put you guys onto me, and we can have a chat.
No worries. So just if you like to send a message at the Gloucester Canary Australia Facebook page, that'll be great. And that's it, guys. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, share, like, subscribe. And until next time, guys, all right, have a good one.